guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today we are going to make our own stamps. I have several videos about this on my channel. I will link one up into the corner up here and down below so you can check it out. And here we go. So this is just kids foam, and as you can see, this is the very thin kids foam. And all I did was I doubled it. So I cut it into 2 squares. I have to get my lighting changed. I see how bad it is, so sorry about that. So all I did was I took a glue stick, glued it together, and then here I am. I took a pencil, and I drew on very lightly, because if you do it hard, you're gonna get indentations, and if you make a mistake and go to erase it, it's gonna already have those indentations in it, and you're not gonna get a good line. So then what you do is take a pen, pencil, whatever you have, and you're going to go and you're going to sketch these out. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'm going to speed through it, and then we'll get to stamping. So, okay, so here we are. 3, 2, 1. All right, so here we are, and we're done. And I used 2 different pens, so you can see the thinner and the thicker, and we're going to see how that works out. I also have a pointy thing. I think they're called stylus. And I'm going to put some, little dots in here, but you can use a pencil, you can use an eraser, you can use whatever you have. It's not a big deal. Even things like on, you have like on your roller, you can use that and just remember that this spins and push in, and you're going to get indentation. So whatever you have, if you want 1 dot, you want 2 dots, it's totally up to you. You be your own daughter. Okay. And if you want to do it, because there's 2 sides are smaller, you can do a couple in the triangles. You could do it in between. I think you get what I'm saying. Make it yours. Do designs, do letters. It doesn't matter. All right. I just want to show you the texture that you get. And of course, this is kind of elaborate, but you definitely can draw, which I'll show you. Let me show you real quick. you can draw very big, or you can use your stylus if you want, and you want to freeform it. Sometimes I like to do just flowers, so we'll just use our, and you're not gonna be able to see this well until we stamp, but I'm just going around and making petals and that, and then I'll just do the leaves, all with the stylus, and we'll see how that works. And I won't put the double on there so you can see it. So I'm going to use this stamp pad. You can use regular acrylic paint, and I'll show you in a minute. Let's do this first. Now remember, archival ink will be permanent, so once it dries, you can put media over it, wet media, it doesn't matter. But if it's, which is this, it's like the this is archival ink. Obviously it says archival ink. The Memento is I call them permanent. Distress ink isn't so much permanent. What other ones are permanent? Memento, oh, stays on, that's permanent. Those are what you want if you want permanent. And I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to, we'll do it this way first. I'm just going to give it a push it real good. Okay, because you want all those little nooks and crannies to get ink. Here we go, here we go. So you can see where I got ink, you know, and I need some more. So I'm just going to kind of give it a push, on them corners and around them sides. Okay, ready? Let's do it. Let's do it right here. And then I'm going to give it a push. And if you want to put paper over it and push it, if you're, you know, you don't like to get dirty, it doesn't bother me. But totally up to you. And then look. And you can print even more, and I'll lift this up. Give it a little. Now I know some people, now I didn't push that hard, you can see, but I know some people like to push the paper on it. So let's do that. And if you have problems with your hands, which, you know, some of us do, and better days than others, use your roly-poly or a paint bottle or whatever you have and give it a roll. Might make it easier for you. And then look at that. So look, now you can see this pen that I used, which, let me tell you what it is. It is a Bic Velocity, and it's a 16, it says. So I guess that's how thick it is, because I like sometimes thicker. But you can see it kind of reacted, right, to the media, which is the ink pad, and it came off on there. So make sure if you use a pen that isn't permanent, which there are many out there that are, that you just kind of stamp off for a little bit or wipe it with a little bit of water to, you know, make your ink pad clean. But look how cool. So that's the one we stamped, we turned over and pushed on it. This is the first and this is the second. So look at that. For mixed media, when you're doing a canvas or an ATC card and you don't have many stamps, which some of us don't, go and, you know, you can make your own. So now let's work with this one real quick. I'm going to put it on here, and then we'll work with paint, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, just give it a squish. You see, you can see if you need any more, and then we'll do this. Same thing. And then look at what you got. So now I just made 2 stamps that I can use in my mixed media and layer and all that good stuff. And, you know, I used it with an ink pad. Now let's use it with some paint. I'll use red so it's a little darker so you can see it. And I'm just going to squirt some. A little will do ya. You don't need too much. And then I'm going to take and just wipe off some of that brown. And remember, this is just 1 layer. This isn't 2. I prefer this because for me, it gives me a little bit more cushion for my pushing. But of course, you don't have to. I'll just give that a quick wipe. Let's get our rolly and let's roll. Now I'm not going to add any water because I don't want it to be too thin off the get-go. But look how nice that covers. And then I'll push it down. Now that's not too much paint, but you see what I'm saying. Look at that. Now, if you look at this and you're like, you know what? I want it to be thicker. I want these lines to be a bit thicker. Go in again with your pencil, with your pen. I like to use dead pens, and I have a lot of them because I use a lot of pens, and they run out. So save it, and then you don't have any ink, but then you can use. But you definitely can go back in and make these thicker. You know, maybe you're like, oh, it's a little too thin for me. So go in, nothing stops you, and make them thicker. I'm just trying to look at a couple things here in the middle. See if I can get these to come up a little more. You really want something sharp to get in there and, you know, like your end of your pen. Okay, getting those holes. We'll see if that does better. Let's use a little bit more. I'll show you with a little water. You might like water, you know, or you can use like glazing medium, just a couple squirts, or anything, you know, anything like that to extend. Okay, and roll it, and then roll it. Get it everywhere, and then I'm going to turn this over. Like I said, you can use a bottle or whatever you have and give it a roll. Now I want you to look. You can see, well, my light's kind of blowing it out, but you can see that it's a little too thick. Let me see if I can change my camera here for a second. This camera is horrible. I don't need it that bright. Just so you can see. See the background where you can see the print? So that's a whole other kind of, it's not necessarily a stamp, but you definitely got texture. And that's really cool on its own as well. And paint, you gotta, you know, you just play till you get it. Till you get it the consistency that you want. That's the fun. Now you see how less paint, and look how much better you get. All right, so let's do the flower and see how we get it. I love these from, I don't know if it's Martha Stewart or Plaid. I think it's Plaid. It's a Martha Stewart from Plaid. There you go. But it has the stand on it. So I just throw it down because that's what I'm used to, but it has a great stand. So I'm just going to do that, and let's press on top and see what happens. Might have too much on there. I don't know. A little bit too much. But you still see you can use that because you're doing mixed media. We're not going for good straight prints. You can, but you don't have to. So I'm still digging this the best. This is all right. It's nothing wrong with it. I probably have to go in and do a little thicker, like push down a little harder. Let's do that. There are so many things. Like I said, I'm going to link other videos that I've done. There we go. We're going to do a little. And you'll see all kinds of different, I mean, you could do any designs that you want. So you can see I made the indentations a little bit more. And we're going to just roll that real quick and stamp it. There you go. So you see, and you can almost see it come through. You don't want it to break through, but you can see I pushed harder, and look at that great print. So you can also do that, like I said, with this. It takes a little longer, So I'm not going to necessarily do that, but you can see, gorgeous, gorgeous. So you definitely can use paint. And you get these great, great prints. So, I mean, your limit is your imagination is only limited by the things that you come up with. So you can do anything. You could just scribble. Make sure if you write words, you write them backwards, because if you write it, you know, like we're like, let's do, oops. So if I do breathe, I don't want to do it straight, because when I print it, it's going to be backwards. You want to make sure, if you're like me, you have to write it on a piece of paper and then do it backwards. Look, I probably even spelled that wrong. See, it has to be backwards. And then we'll just put that on there. And you can see it's drying a little bit. No big deal. A little more water. And press it on there. Go the opposite way. And then we'll press it on right here. You see? There you go. So much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And I would appreciate it if you shared me all over social media. I'd appreciate it greatly. And as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. If you guys do this or anything that I show you guys or do on my YouTube, please tag me. And whether it's in our group or on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever, because I would love to add your photos or videos at the end of my videos to share and show what you guys do. So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.